she really did say that.
Yeah, she really did say that after she just got done Gaddafi and then laughed about it.
We came, we saw, he died.
We came, we saw, he died. The fact that any human being would ever do that. By the way he died, that's some dark.
He is, and he's actually still kind of good looking. Like, even for an older dude. Yeah, why not? He's still so good looking, and she's just so miserable.
She's public.
Joe Rogan tore apart Hillary Clinton's well-crafted sentences like tissue paper. One poke breaks the whole pretense. Is this chaos a result of politics or stand-up? Every moment is more intense than a jalapeno drink trick, and the crowd's reactions explode like popcorn in a hurricane. You never asked to be on this ride. This prevents you from turning away.
That her big retribution would become president.
I'm running for president, and I'm in it to win it.
You know, become president.
Sure.
And then that would be it. All water under the bridge. I'm a strong woman. I'm running this country. And then America was like, nah.
And I'm sorry that we did not win this election for the values we share and the vision we hold for our country. I mean, it doesn't matter what color you are, America does not want a woman in charge.
Well, that's not exactly true.
Rogan attacks the stage much like someone who shows up at a tea party with a chainsaw. Hillary loses her cool quite fast. While wearing a blindfold and solving a Rubik's Cube, Rogan just takes off the stickers and laughs.
She was going in, and she had a ton of money behind her, and they were completely arrogant, and all the liberal elite in the media thought there was no chance she was going to lose. She's 95% shoe-in to win the presidency, and she walked around like she was 95%.
She already thought she won.
Let's say it all does go pear-shaped. November 18th, 2016, and for whatever reason, it's President-elect Donald Trump. In that circumstance, is Hillary Clinton moving to Canada? First of all, I do not think that will happen, and I have every confidence if I'm the nominee, it certainly will.
Don't think about piano music. The atmosphere is one of disbelief. Hillary leans in, her sleek lines shining under the lights. It's the quiet before the storm, and everyone knows that the first crack is only a few seconds away.
Jamie, go to that Hillary Clinton thing that I texted you today. This one is wild.
We do not think the comprehensive health care benefits should be extended to those who are undocumented workers and illegal aliens. We do not want to do anything to encourage more illegal immigration into this country. We know now that too many people come in for medical care as it is. We certainly don't want them having the same benefits that American citizens are entitled to have.
How about that? More MAGA than Trump. It's
You
all
couldn't believe.
Rogan has an approach to politics akin to improvised theater. Each sentence becomes a joke. Every joke bursts into laughter. The comb is no longer there. Under the garb of a demolition derby, this is a debate.
And said in an interview, if we can't control social media, we lose control.
If the platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are, if they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control.
Yeah, you're not supposed to have control over.
Rogan's smile implies that Hillary's concept is a failed Netflix plot, even if she responds with charts and figures. Courteous discourse turns into a comical wrecking ball as the tone changes, popcorn explodes, the emperor seems to be dressed in conflicting pajamas, and calm breaks.
Of the election, I think they had some crazy odds of Hillary winning. It was like in the 90%. We watched it from the Comedy Store. We did a podcast from the Comedy Store called the End of the World podcast. What was most fascinating was the podcast was over, and then we all went to the bar, and on the television, Jake Tapper was just seriously bummed out, talking about Trump winning all these different states.
And Anderson, it is hard to think of a political comeback that is actually more significant than this one. I'm tempted to say Richard Nixon, but that really falls short of what Donald Trump has achieved.
I think for a lot of people, that was the end of trust.
You can't help but laugh at a single incredulous remark that reminds you of someone who finds they forgot their seatbelt in flight. The audience erupts, half gripping coffee like survival gear, and the other half continually checking to make sure this isn't a fever dream. Hillary's voice wavers. Tiny defect, huge impact. Rogan dives into really dull stories that cause humorous outbursts.
Promote her as president against Trump. Democrats are going to vote for Trump. She should lose one more time.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
But she's going to lose in a way that's
No, I know, it's crazy. No, they have nobody else. That's the other thing.
But the thing is, he should lose in a way that's crazy if you're looking at like competence, because he's so old. But people will vote for him just because the machine behind him has kept the country relatively.
A carnival emerges from what began as politics. Chess champion versus street magician. Although there are regulations on paper, delivery is actually total chaos packaged in perfect timing. Then comes the clip moment. Did he just say that? A lightning bolt strikes a disco ball. The town is hit by an asteroid. Hillary's talking points break down in the middle of a phrase. Laughter erupts. Disbelief intensifies.
This one is wild. This is Hillary Clinton in like 2008, and Hillary Clinton saying some wild MAGA type shit.
Oh!
You have to wait in line. Is she more MAGA than Trump? It's all
believe it.
illusion.
Nobody expected this. Hillary turns into a real-time meme of Rogan exclaiming, "Oh no, not that." Comments are flooding in. Memes become popular. Shock multiplies. The conversation veers back and forth. Politics, philosophy, and pop culture. Every line is like a covert blow. Rogan hangs a bright mirror, forcing her to face reflections she has never practiced. The dispute devolves into a jungle gym full of chaos, relentless pressure, and spontaneous humor. Hillary struggles through Rogan's shifting maze-like Sudoku with moving squares, while the internet cheers at every round.
Women want a woman to be president so bad. They want one for the team so bad. And then there's so many people from the left that think she has the best chance of beating Trump or whoever is on the right. They're willing to exonerate her from so many different horrendous things. One of the things I always point out, like, people want to talk progressive, being left-wing, and she didn't even believe in gay marriage until 2013. They were trying to get people supporting her just because she's a woman. This is going to be her history. You know, women, ladies, I stand with her. So there's all these women that have this blind allegiance towards this career politician. It's complete.
Rogan sits back and sips water, as composed as a scientist watching an experiment. A seemingly harmless question detonates like a hidden grenade, upsetting Hillary's balance. She starts out calmly, but her answers falter as Rogan raises an eyebrow and smirks. Without shouting, he breaks down his conversational jiu-jitsu. Smooth, surgical, and unfairly accurate. When faced with casual skepticism, all well-crafted talking points fall apart. Pivots and timing adjustments. The audience is shocked and laughing as Rogan turns each disagreement into a funny masterclass.
Shot at. It's like, I can't imagine, I was just talking about lack of empathy, I can't imagine being in a situation where I'm on television and I'm saying things that are so removed from the truth.
Right.
Like, I can't wrap my head around that.
Well, Hillary did the same thing.
Well, she's a congenital liar, as she was referred to by the New York Times back in the day.
And rightly so, but people forget this. She did talk about a firefight that she was involved in.
I was under sniper fire, and the worst thing about that people didn't give a shit about, she said when she was...
Although Hillary employs prepared statements, facts, and humor, her respect has faded. The crowd mirrors the room. This amusing sketch combines excitement, disbelief, and history. Rogan's casual remarks make her answers sound outdated. His caustic humor resonates more deeply than criticism, proving that sometimes the harshest critique is accompanied by a smile.
Arabia is not allowed to give Hillary Clinton's campaign $10 million.
It's a criminal enterprise. Saudi Arabia giving $25 billion. Qatar.
They could give the Clinton Foundation $10 million.
So I'd like to ask you right now, why don't you give back the money that you've taken from certain countries that treat certain groups of people so horribly?
You write these rules, they find another way to do it.
Rogan's motions never feel forced. He's not trying to belittle, he's just being himself. And that alone destroys Hillary's polished exterior. She responds boldly, leaning in with a sharp and confident demeanor. But Rogan dismisses it with a smooth grace, as though he were an expert at avoiding stupidity for work. It's a hilariously painful slow-motion collision of wit, timing, and charisma. Every pause and break in her composure becomes amusing stuff, Rogan doesn't use coercion. He just lets anarchy arise naturally, and the outcome is catastrophic.
The thing that got me was when they were confronting Bill recently about Monica Lewinsky, and they asked him, do you owe her an apology?
Right.
And he was like, if anybody thinks that I got out of that free, you're crazy. Let me tell you something. I left the White House millions of dollars in debt.
Yeah, and they stole the furniture and they had to return it.
They stole the furniture?
Yeah, they looted the White House. They had to return all the shit they stole.
Come on.
There's a book called Final Exit written by Barbara Olson, who died in 9/11, and it's all about...
The question Rogan poses is so simple that it may be a trapdoor under Hillary's feet. She answers exactly, but his follow-up is flawless, calm, cool, and slightly lethal. Her confidence wanes as the internet explodes and memes spread faster than anyone can keep up. Rogan is in charge of the chaos like a maestro. Every punchline about a firework erupts with shock. Hillary starts acting aggressively. Rogan doesn't waver, and the incident went viral.
Women and treat women horribly. You take their money.
That foundation was making so much money until right around 2016.
But I am happy. In fact, I'm thrilled to talk about the Clinton Foundation because it is a world-renowned charity, and I am so proud of the work that it does.
And everyone stopped donating to it. It's just so weird.
The Clinton Foundation made it possible for 11 million people around the world with HIV/AIDS to afford treatment.
The Saudis were really into...
Here, there was no real disagreement. It was a performance where preparation collapsed under the weight of chaos, wit, absurdity, and pure improvisation. Hillary arrived polished and armed with rehearsed lines, but Rogan proved that against raw charisma, preparation can be useless, calmly dismantling without ever raising his voice and turning precision and timing into sharper weapons than open criticism. The internet erupted in real time, clipping, memeing, and laughing, as the exchange felt less like politics and more like a viral late-night comedy special, with Rogan rewriting the rules on the fly while Hillary's scripted moments cracked under every pause, smile, and perfectly placed jab. By the time the curtain fell, one thing was unmistakable. Debates may never look the same again.
I wonder if who he really is. This
Trump.
is the real, this is my real problem with Trump.
Yeah,
I wonder
because
who he
I've
really
heard people
is.
defend Hillary Clinton. Smart, intelligent, liberal people I know. I go, but she seems like she's saying, she's smart because she's saying what she needs to get elected. I'm like, well, okay, well then how's that different than Donald Trump? If you don't believe she believes these things, she's just doing what she has to get elected, then how can you not believe the same about Donald Trump?
Her speeches creep me out way more than his, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
She got called out by Bernie Sanders for having these enormous not campaign speeches, but speeches.
The heavy lifting is done by his poise, timing, and sharp sense of comedy, leaving analysts scrambling as online forums buzz with theories about a new era where humor carries more weight than authority. Rogan never gloats or declares victory. He simply allows contradictions to collapse under their own weight. Each subtle joke and perfectly timed pause chipping away at polished armor with surgical precision. What unfolds feels less like a conversation and more like a lesson wrapped in effortless charisma, proving that wit can dismantle preparation faster than any direct attack. As clips, memes, and reactions flood the internet, every smile becomes a viral moment. And when the curtain finally closes, one truth stands clear: effortless wit will always outclass practiced authority.